today's tutorial will be creating an application from the scratch to the end. So today we'll be creating a weather application, we can say, okay, and we'll be using a concept in ServiceNow which is called remote tables, which a lot of people are not aware about. So why we have to use the remote table? So we came across a lot of situation in the development activities, okay, throughout our career, where we want to do some evaluation on certain data which is stored on external system. You can call it like via integration, but you don't want to store the data on your system, on ServiceNow system. There may be a couple of reasons for that, but I think personally the most common two reasons will be: first, the data is huge or redundant, so we don't want to store all the data on the system. Or the second one is like the data which we are pulling is a confidential data, so we don't want to store on the system. So what we'll be doing today, we will try to build an application, okay, which will pull the data on we can say current basis of the weather reports, okay, for the provided latitude and locations, and then we will try to generate some reports around the same. Okay, so let's get started. So let's first start creating the application. So for that I will go to Studio. On Studio we'll give create application. On create application I will give the application name. I will give it weather app. I will give the description. This is the app for reporting of weather. Anything, okay? I will not give the image for now, okay? I will go to create, and now we'll be creating a role. So roles I will give, what kind of role I want to give. Let's give it like let's give it ITL for now. ITL role, and we'll continue. We want to go with the classic mode. I don't know why I'm not getting this problem I always face. I will zoom out for a second, then I will zoom out. Tables, so it's asking me to create a table. Search existing database, so we want to create a new table. So what we'll be doing over here, create a table from scratch. Again I have to zoom out. I didn't get this continue button, okay, so for this reason I have to get out again and again. So what basically we have to do, we will be using this API. So this API is a weather API from Rapid API, and what exactly it does, we have to provide it latitude and longitude, and based on that it will give the current temperature, and you can see wind speed. We see temperature over here, so I will be taking wind speed, temperature. What else I want? I think that will be the only thing for now, okay. And let's take cloud, wind direction, wind speed, some of the attributes I will take. So let me take those attributes only. So first of all, what is the first thing? The first thing is wind speed. So we'll give speed. Okay, I will just change it out to match the attribute from that API. Wind speed, then what we want to do is no, it will not follow over here, so I will not take that. I will take temperature, and this will be wind speed will be a float. Do we have float point number, okay. And add field, I will make the other field what select temperature. I will make it as temp. It should be also float. Add one more field. What else we want? Wind direction, right? So we will take wind direction south. So we will give wind direction. And I will give it a name. And I will make it as string field. Anything else? I will make it 100. Anything else what we feel we should use it out. Timestamp, this is the most important thing. Oh, we will give add field timestamp. I'll give it a name as timestamp UTC, and for now I will keep it as string because I don't want to get into conversion and all that things. Okay, so I think this should be enough. I'll scroll down. Oh my god, this is hell for me. Now plus what's this? Table label, table name. So we will give it like weather information, or we will give it as weather. And it will have this extension, make extensible, auto numbered. Just make it auto numbered. Oh, we don't need this also. Okay, we don't need this. Let's continue. If we want to store the data, we'll be using this out. Done with the tables. Start. Create. I think I made a mistake. I don't need this thing out. So I will click on this weather report. As I mentioned, we'll be using a remote table, so I will not use this table out. So let's go over here. And I will search for, I think I have to refresh it out. Weather app, okay. And now what we'll be doing, we'll not use that table whichever we have created, we will create a remote table. So we'll go for remote table. So what remote table does, I will explain you first. So if I go to docs remote, we can also call it as script table. So what exactly, you can create remote table to describe the schema for the data that you want to retrieve from an external source. The table definition is in the Now platform, but its rows or external record live in the memory. So basically what in simple word, what it means to say, it will act like a simple table, but it will not store the data. The data will not be there. You can only display the data from the external source on the table. Okay, let's not go into them. So let's click on new, and I will give it a name as weather. And I have to again do this. It will be weather this, and then we want to create a menu. Yes, create a new menu with weather name, and now I have to give again the column names. So I will take the reference of this table only. Timestamp, wind speed, temperature. Okay, I want this only, right? I will take column name also. Okay. Let's create it out now. So the first one will be temperature. And the type is, the name is temp. So I will give it a type as float. The second one is what? Timestamp. We'll give it a name as string. For now, we'll be changing it in the future tutorials. Then the third one is wind action. Sorry for the previous table and wasting your time. So we will give it as a float. Wind action was string, right? Yeah, wind action was string, so we'll give it as string. And the fourth was wind speed, right? That will be float. Perfect. So we have created table, weather, and you can see there is a checkbox called remote table, which will signify that it's a remote table. We are creating a model called weather, and we have created this attributes: temperature, timestamp, wind action, wind speed, and we'll keep on adding attributes to this in the future. So I will save it out. And now one thing to be observed over here. So you can see there are no out of the box field created. Okay, like created by, update by, and delete, or active we can say, because this is a remote table. Nothing will get stored on the ServiceNow instance. Okay, everything will be from the external system. So that's the reason. Now we have created the remote table. Now the next step is like we have this API, right? We have to integrate this API, right? So let's try to integrate this API then. So we will go over here, we'll create a REST message. We'll create a new REST message, and here we'll go to the code snippet, and the code snippet I will okay, it's already JavaScript Java query. So this is the URL, right, for the API. So let's take this URL. So we will give the API description. This is API. Now we will provide the endpoint. So let's provide the endpoint. In endpoint we have hard-coded values. So this values I got for Pune. Okay, for now let's go with the hard-code value, then we will make it dynamic. Okay, or if we want we can make it, and I'm taking 3 hourly report. Okay, and what else is required for this? I didn't go there. And we have to define this headers. So it's get and this headers. Okay, perfect. So we will go over here and we'll define the headers for the same. So I will take the header. It's the first header is host one, and it has a value of the API, which API we are using. So basically Rapid API is the repository of free APIs. Okay, you can use those out. I missed this first thing. Again we have to go pretty quick. Studio. I will go over here. And we will give the key for the same. Okay, and we will save it out. Now we will create a the resource got created for the same. So we'll go to the resource. And we will do test. Let's hope it will work. It gave an error 401 invalid API key. Okay, fine. I think we have to set the headers over here also. I messed that out. So we'll open this out. I will minimize this. Let's see if header got. Okay, we don't have headers over here, right? So the first header again we have to give. This is pretty easy to implement, and I'm doing it for the first time with this particular API. Means I've done integration in the past, but with this particular API for the first time. I thought I was giving a try. I should shoot a video also. So we have given headers, and let's give it a start test, and we got 200. Perfect. This is what we were expecting with a lot of massive response. So now we got a response, right? Now how to add this response to our remote table, right? That's the next challenge. So first of all, I want to understand this JSON because it's pretty messy. So what I will do, I will just go to JSON land. I'll paste this out, and I will do validate JSON. So now you can see there is a array of data. Okay, array of data, and inside that we have this object which we'll be using. And this object, yeah, it's ending over here. Okay, so there is a weather object also inside, but we will not using that. Now we got the response. Now we have to go. Now how to fetch the data to the remote table? First of all, let me show you the remote table. So if we go to weather, I think this is the what happened over here. So this is the weather module, okay, which we are having. Okay, now inside this weather we will again go to the remote table, and we have to define the definition for the same. So we have defined the table first. Now we will define the definition for the same. So we will go over here, click new. This is where we are defining the logic to extract the data, okay, for the weather table. So we will give the name as it has a lot of boilerplate code, but I will not pay attention to that. Weather definition. Weather definition, and here we will give it a name as weather. Okay, and now here is the script, right? It has already given a lot of boilerplate code, okay, encoded queries and all that things. This is how you can pull the data, and using this particular statement, add rows, you can push the object to the table. So what we'll be doing over here, we have the scripted REST API, right? Why is that scripted REST API? Oh, I missed that. So this scripted REST API. So we will be extracting the code for the same. So I will do previous script usage. Come on. It's getting so slow. Why I want login? Okay, I click on this. And generated the code. Oh, so we will be taking this code only, and now we'll go to the definition. I will leave this till here. I will paste the code. So let's remove this upper part only. I don't think it's of any use to me for now. So basically what it's doing, try scripted REST API DTDTT. We don't have to define anything like over here, so we'll remove this also. Execute response body, okay, response body, response status, and now we can give if HTTP status equal to 200, because we want to execute the further logic if it's successful only. Then what we'll be doing, you must be knowing, right, there was, oh, how exactly it was. First of all, let's see how exactly it's coming. So I will take this up and I will go to the explore. We'll paste this out and see what response we are getting. What happened? We have to go to weather app and if we run now, granted, yes, I didn't give print for this, so I will give for dot to string wow. It's giving object, I know this. JSON string file. let's see, if I do dot data, let me see this object. Okay, how exactly is it? It's data only, right? Sorry, response body. My bad, my bad. My bad, my bad. So we are getting this kind of data. So if I do response body dot data, let's play with this data for now. Oh, I did the stringify, right? That's the reason. Let's remove the stringify. Let's keep it as object only. If I do dot type of, I'm just checking whether it's an object or string. So it's string, right? So we have to do it json.parse. So I will give response body json. I'll give it a name, and I will give json dot parse and run. This we want this. It's when you are not sure, right? How the data is coming, you have to do these things out. So in this dot data, and now it should give the array. So it gave the array, okay, and now we will iterate through this array, okay. So I will take this code only. As our code. If response code is equal to a, so here now we will give the logic, okay. So for that, what I have to do, while for a variable I equal to 0, I less than, what's wrong with my keyboard? For a variable equal to 0, I less than, or response body json dot data dot length and I plus plus. So we'll be iterating over that data length. And how we'll be iterating over that? is we will be creating an object. So I will give create variable. Why it's coming every time I am passing variable row object equal to, I will give it an empty object, and now we'll be setting the attributes for that object. So you can simply do this like this. I just want to know the attributes. So let's go to the weather table. Configure table, and now we'll take this attributes and put it over there. So there are 4 attributes. Temperature, and it will be I dot, we have to see what was there for temperature. Or I can check from here also. Temperate. In the similar way, we will be adding 4 other attributes also. So we have 4 attributes, right? Comma, and we will do it the same for 4 attributes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm creating a lot of mess today, I guess. 3, 4. So the first attribute is temperature. What is the second attribute? It's timestamp. The third attribute is wind action. And the fourth attribute is wind speed. Now again we will move to set these attributes, right? So the first one temperature, second we want timestamp. So timestamp will be taking timestamp UTC. The third one is wind action. What is there for wind action, bro? What is the wind direction, wind action, wind action, wind action? Well, let's take this wind action full for that, because it's a string field, right? And the fourth one is wind speed. As the wind speed, wind speed. Okay. Now we have done with the integration over here. Now what we have to do, once this object is created, okay, we have to add it to the row, okay, add it to the table. So that's where this particular line come into existence. So this is for loop, this is row object, and the row object we can give this, but we have to stringify, or we can directly add it like this. Let's start this way only, and here I will give what, row object. and Control A, Shift Tab, and I will save this out. I think this is all we have to do. Okay, now what exactly we are doing, we are calling the REST API, pulling the data, passing it out in the format, okay, in the object format for the weather table which we have created, and we are just pushing it out as a row. So if I go and see the list layout for the same, right? Alright, sorry, my bad. If I go and do show list for the same, now you can see all the data has been pulled out for this particular integration. Perfect, right? I'm very happy with this progress. So now this data is not present on the system, okay? This data is present on the external system. We are just showing it out on the list layout, okay? You don't believe me? See, if I do click I and if I open this record, see, there's nothing. I told you, right? There's nothing. Everything is on the list. Now let's create a report for the same. Okay. So I will go right click, and what I want to do, I want to create a bar chart for the same. Hope this is clear to you guys. So we have done with the integration, creation of application and integration. So just let's create a report. So ideally I think bar chart will be the best thing to do. So I don't want to do with group by temperature. Let's do it with timestamp. Okay. So that we'll come to know, okay, how exactly it's looking, right? And stack by, we will do not count also. Now let's keep it a count. Okay. And if I do next, so here configure, I'm making some mistakes. I want to group by timestamp. You can create report over here. Okay, I think this is already being maximum temperature. Okay, next. So now you can see on which particular day what was the temperature, right? So this is how we have created, what exactly we've done for today's tutorial. We have created an application, then we have created a remote table, then we defined an integration, and using that integration we pulled the data to the remote table, and then we created a report for the same. So this is all for today's tutorial. Hope you like this tutorial. I was experimenting on my own. I thought, okay, let's do it together. Okay, if you have any suggestion, any comments, I know I missed one part where I don't want to create a custom table, but apart from that, if you think something needs to be improved, please let me know. Okay, till then, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day. Thank you.